When there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you gonna call? Well, apparently, they're gonna call you. No, ignore all the military personnel and scientists who look like they should be able to handle this weird situation. It's apparently down to you to fix StrangerVille. StrangerVille is the latest game pack for The Sims 4 and is actually a lot more interesting than many that came before. But before I get into it, let me take the time to welcome you to Rock, Paper, Shotgun. What's happening to the screen?
They're lying to you! Something bad is happening here, and it's only getting worse.
Ignore that, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, that sim might have been speaking English rather than Simlish, but whatever, it's fine. My name is Alice, and I'm here to tell you about all the strange goodies you can find in The Sims 4 StrangerVille. The Sims 4 StrangerVille takes The Sims 4 in an exciting direction, and it definitely bodes well for the future. But before we fall down a Sims wormhole, if you enjoy today's video, please like it, because that way I'll be able to convince my boss to let me do more videos on The Sims and use company expenses to buy shiny things for my house. God, I hope the HR department isn't watching. And do subscribe to Rock, Paper, Shotgun to see those future Sims videos too. The StrangerVille pack is a little different to what we've seen in previous Sims 4 DLC, and the main difference for me is the story-led nature of it, but let's talk through some other highlights too. To boil it down, StrangerVille is a new world with 11 available lots, and on the surface at least, they don't disappoint. The world is split into 3 areas. There's Shady Acres, which is the more affluent residential area, and StrangerVille Plaza, where you find cheaper houses, which is good as there's also a bar here, which means you can spend your house savings on the old happy juice. There's also a library, where you can presumably sit in the quiet to deal with the hangover from the old happy juice. Okay, there's not masses of it. As those creepy dolls at Disneyland sing, it's a small world after all. But what the creepy dolls don't mention is the secret lab set off in the distance in a massive crater on the other side of a river. More on the story attached to that in a moment. I'd say it's quality over quantity. The set design in StrangerVille is generally outstanding. The new props included and the way the Sims team have pieced together the world is some of their most interesting work yet. We have these cute little planks leading up to this big old house. There's a plane crash landing site with a bunker underneath it. That's the kind of thing you'd expect to find in Metro Exodus, although Metro doesn't let you decorate post-apocalyptic Russia with fridges and sofas. And I love the inclusion of a trailer park. Okay, so everyone has to cram into just one trailer, but it's great to see The Sims actually reflecting the range of buildings that real-life people live in. Not everything has to be a white-collar, suburban, or urban dreamscape. I love the inventiveness of this world and hope it's a direction further expansions take in the future. While StrangerVille is meant to be a strange place, it's not called Mundane Town for a reason. There is one thing that feels unintentionally weird to me. The interior design of the pre-made houses just isn't up to the game's usual standards. Now, I know EA face technical hurdles with these. They have to keep interiors simple so they don't melt lower spec PCs. But some of these layouts are so sparse and weirdly designed that they end up feeling a tiny bit rushed. The eagle-eyed Lil Simsy pointed out that an older starter home has been copy and pasted with similar colourings and only a slightly wider bathroom to disguise it. I'll link her video in the description below, where she also points out that the kitchen in the bunker of the plane crash is unusable. How does poor George eat? Wait, is that why there are no bodies left at the crash site? George, you monster. Of course, where some see limitations, others see a challenge. YouTube Sims wizard Plumbella has done awesome renovations on the world, so we don't have to. I've linked her renovation video below, which may make you wonder why one person can somehow do what a whole team can't. I know that not everyone cares about pre-made houses, but sometimes I'm lazy, alright? And I like moving into these places. They're the microwave dinner equivalent of a Sims house, only without a working kitchen. You wouldn't even be able to cook a microwave dinner in here. Maybe George was right to eat those people. But moving swiftly on, if StrangerVille skimps on prefabs, that might be because more time has been put into areas that don't normally get much love, such as the surrounding story. The second you step into this game pack, it's obvious that you're in for something a bit different. For starters, you've got these completely normal bunch of people. Yep, nothing to see here, perfectly fine. Are these guys available for babysitting? Okay, strange things are afoot, and a face. God, the faces are strange. If you want to wipe away those weird expressions, you need to solve the mystery at the heart of StrangerVille. Sadly, at that point, the game pack doesn't rename itself to just Ville. Your first destination is the big glowing purple crater. That's what I call detective work. Inside the crater is a secret lab with a redacted name. Back in your home, special agents might come and take your fridge, claiming it has traces of infection. Does that mean your sim might become a weird townie? I'm constantly worried I'm going to be bundled into one of the suspicious vans that appear around town and speed off into the sunset. What on earth are they up to? I guess we won't find out until the inevitable suspicious van parking lot game pack. Come on, after EA sold My First Pet stuff separate to pets, you wouldn't put it past them. What I'm saying is, it feels like a town alive with character beyond the parts you control yourself. And it's the perfect breeding ground for a more unusual kind of story. Playing this game pack really brought me back to past experiments with storytelling in The Sims' long history. Most obviously, if you were expecting a similar deal to The Sims 2 Strange Town, I don't think you'll be too disappointed. And while aliens existed in The Sims 4 long before StrangerVille, we've not seen a proper story to follow in The Sims since The Sims Life, Pet, and Castaway stories. God, were those really 10 years ago? Yikes, I suddenly feel someone has taken me in to create a sim and aged me up to elder really fast. Squint, and you could even liken this game pack to the Herbs Sims in the City or The Sims Bustin' Out. It plays a lot more like a game designed for one character rather than the usual families I've Frankenstein into existence. You can play StrangerVille with a family if you wish, but having one conspiracy nut living in a trailer park felt like a more natural fit. It could also be compared to The Sims 3 World Adventures, where your sim was able to explore tombs in a much more exciting and interesting way than The Sims 4 not very good jungle adventures. StrangerVille follows a very linear storyline that shouldn't take you more than a couple of hours to complete all in all, especially if it's your main focus, in between going to work and keeping your sim alive, of course. If you want to cheat the system, then everything you need can be found in By Debug. I'm far too honest to try such a thing myself, but it would appear that if you just pop the story items into your sim's inventory, then you should be able to complete the aspiration milestones and therefore complete the story. That is, of course, if your sim has the new aspiration set, and if they don't, you might want to change that so you can have a helping hand in solving the StrangerVille mystery. I really like the way the new StrangerVille mystery aspiration ties into the story. If you're new to The Sims 4, aspirations layer an extra level of life goals for Sims to work towards. The new mystery of StrangerVille aspiration has you completing tasks to work your way through 4 levels of mystery solving, and very much relies on you playing as a new resident, or it makes no sense. You can tell as the first level is called New Resident. It involves shopping at the new curio store, exploring the lab, and planting bugs on your neighbours. You know, the stuff anyone does when they move house. From here, your nosy behaviour escalates as you become an info-gathering spy and a pathogenic investigator with a hazmat suit and a toxic spore collection. Finally, you pull all the strands together to become a local hero. What an incredible career path. From nobody to local hero in just 2 hours. That's so much better than my real-life career prospects. I'm a YouTuber, and from here I can either get a real job, copyright my parents, or stay around here until I do something problematic and make loads of money anyway. Decisions. Sticking with the theme of conspiracy and the hidden world, there's also a new trait called Paranoid, which opens up a bunch of new interactions, including changing passwords on your computer, accusing people of spying, and talking about conspiracy theories. I mean, this basically describes most of the people who end up in this channel's spam filter, so it's not quite as exotic as EA think. But hey, every little helps. Another highlight of StrangerVille is the new military career. Now, I know that my whole real-life look suggests I'm ideal recruit material, but it doesn't really speak to me. In the game, it's just another rabbit hole to send your sim off to in a day. Don't expect to get to join them at whatever shady government facility they're going to. But when you get promoted to level 6, you do have the option to continue your path up the military ranks or to become a special agent. And of course I'm going to want to pursue that. As if you needed reminding, I'm basically a Lady James Bond. My sim is the most suspicious sim you'll meet, apart from the ones running around with colanders on their heads, so she'll fit right in her first role as evidence eraser. You probably expect to level up fitness and logic to work up the military ranks, as that's how the older military careers worked, but until you branch off to become an agent, logic has no role in the military. Satire, maybe? A really nice touch to this career is the medals you gain on promotions and the display case you receive at level 2. It's a lovely way to humble brag in your home and a fantastic way to boost your sim's confidence. Of course, there's all the usual things you'd expect from a new game pack. New Creator Sim items and new Build and Buy items too. In Creator Sim, there are items with a real country vibe, looking like you walk straight off the set of a western. Or you can dress your Sims in clothes that make them look like the biggest conspiracy theorists you've ever seen. Well, this is what I imagine a conspiracy theorist looks like. I'm not sure I've ever met one. Or maybe I have and they were just in disguise. Maybe everyone I live with is a conspiracy theorist. Sorry, that's my paranoia trait kicking in. The career brings new outfits too, as does following the storyline. Want your sim to wander around in a hazmat suit? Then so be it. Or would you rather your sim look like they stepped right out of Men in Black? Because they've got you covered there as well. To be fair, that is just a suit and a pair of sunglasses. Easiest costume department ever. Buy mode adds lots of alien-y and sci-fi items, but what is most intriguing is the new build items, where you have doors, windows, pillars and fencing all in a carpenter gothic style. I'm still toying with some of the new pieces, so I'll link you to a video in the description below by genius sim architect Harry, where she built a phenomenal house and talks you through the architectural themes of this pack in a little more detail. For a complete look at everything in this pack, I'd recommend checking out the Sim Supply video if you haven't already. I'll pop that down below too. As much as I like the injection of new playthings you get with each new Sims DLC, I'm more interested in what DLC tells us what EA is thinking about. At the start of the new year, Simmers began to hypothesize what directions the Sims would go in next. They'd talk us through what they want in The Sims 5, how they'd change various things in The Sims 4, and what expansions they could see coming soon in the distant future. But I don't think anyone saw this coming. This is a story-led expansion, something that we've not seen in a long time. Are the designers starting to cotton on that the expansions need to be a bit more directed and a little less vast? I loved the Get Famous expansion, but you didn't have to do anything with it if you didn't want to. StrangerVille's epidemic makes you want to solve the mystery and save the Sims, and for that alone it surpasses much of what we've seen so far in The Sims 4. I really want to see more of this kind of thinking in the future because it adds a different angle on how I approach the game. I love having new lots that look like quirky set design but are fully playable. The trailer park is one of my new favourite things in any Sims add-on and I hope for more like it. Admittedly, it does feel like a first step towards something better. As cool as the idea is, replayability is lacking in StrangerVille. Once you have completed the story, no spoilers, you can reactivate the problem to play it again. But would you want to? Really? I don't think I'd want to have multiple Sims with the trait Hero of Strangerville, or with the ability to receive fan mail addressed to the Hero of Strangerville, as I like my Sims being unique. Plus, it could get grindy after a while, and I've had quite enough of that in Anthem. What is good about this is you have a whole beautiful world to continue living in and changing after it's all over. Oh, and even better, it seems the infected Sims will only stay in this town too. Unlike vampires who crop up bloody everywhere. And there you have it, my take on The Sims 4 StrangerVille and why it's one of the most exciting game packs yet. If it's paving the way for new Sims expansions, I am all for it. And while deep down I was kinda hoping for a university pack, I'm quite happy with a story-driven one instead. Let me know in the comments below what you think of StrangerVille, the future of The Sims, and if you were totally here for this new direction or not. But before you go, please do like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to Rock Paper Shotgun for more like it, and check out some of our other videos on The Sims. From listing my favourite DLCs, now out of date already, whoops, to my opinion on the Get Famous expansion. Thanks for watching and hopefully see you soon.